No, na ke kuai kana hele hele ia la ia ke ki o hu hu e ka ua gogo. O na kino maluikalani malue ho e ho ulu ana o laka I kona maukahu o makono.
When the Polynesian settlers came to Hawaii, their ideas about a new type of government was established. Hawaii had 4 classes of people: the chiefs, the priests, the working people, and the outcasts. Each chief ruled different land divisions of Hawaii, though one chief, Kamehameha I, decided to conquer all divisions and govern Hawaii as one. His enrulment was passed down generation to generation until it reached Kamehameha V. However, he died in December without any successor. An election was held to determine his new successor. Prince Liliuokalani won over his opponent, Kalakaua. Though on February 3, 1874, Liliuokalani died without having a successor either. Another election was held, and Kalakaua won over his opponent, Queen Emma. Interest in Hawaii began in America as early as the 1820s, when New England missionaries tried to spread their faith. Since the 1840s, keeping European powers out of Hawaii became a principal foreign policy goal. Americans acquired a true stronghold in Hawaii as a result of the sugar trade. The United States government provided generous terms to Hawaiian sugar growers, and after the Civil War, profits began to swell. A turning point in U.S.-Hawaiian relations occurred in 1890 when Congress approved the McKinley Tariff, which raised import rates on foreign sugar. Hawaiian sugar planters were now being undersold in the American market, and as a result, a depression swept the islands. The sugar growers, mostly white Americans, knew that if Hawaii were to be annexed by the United States, the tariff problem would naturally disappear. At the same time, the Hawaiian throne was passed to Queen Liliuokalani, who determined that the root of Hawaii's problems was foreign interference. Liliuokalani, a trustworthy queen to the Hawaiian people. Born on September 2nd, 1838, Liliuokalani was the last monarch that ruled a unified Hawaiian kingdom and the first female queen to rule the Hawaiian grounds. As Liliuokalani proceeded as queen, she decided to change things. She wanted to bring back the old Hawaiian government and give to the Hawaiian people. She wanted to preserve the islands for their native residents. In 1887, Liliuokalani learned that her own brother, had been forced to sign the 1887 Constitution of the Kingdom of Hawaii. This constitution immediately became known as the Bayonet Constitution because of the use of intimidation by armed forces, which forced King Kalakaua to sign it or to be killed. The Constitution was written by Hawaiian, American, and European anti-monarchists to strip the Hawaiian monarchy of much of its power, instead empowering the kingdom's legislature and cabinet. Many of those who wrote or backed the Constitution saw it as a first step towards the overthrow of the kingdom and the annexation of Hawaii into the United States. The Queen began working to break the Constitution forced onto her people. She started writing a new constitution that would restore the veto power to the monarchy. When the U.S. military, when the U.S. government, when the European government, when they all heard of Queen Liliuokalani's new constitution, American and European businessmen and residents started organizing to dethrone her. They wanted Hawaii annexed to the United States so that their businesses could grow. In 1893, they formed a committee of safety led by Sanford B. Doe to accomplish their goals of overthrowing the Hawaiian kingdom and dethroning the Queen. Liliuokalani protested against the U.S. government by putting together the Treaty of Annexation. She wrote to them, declaring that the treaty was to be an act of wrong towards the native and part native people of Hawaii, that it was an invasion of the rights of the ruling chiefs, a violation of international rights both towards her people and friendly nations with whom they made treaties, and finally an act of gross injustice to the Queen herself. Native Hawaiians staged mass protest rallies and formed two gender-designated groups to protest the overthrow and prevent annexation. One was the Hui Hawaii Aloha Aina, translated as the Hawaiian Patriotic League. The other was its female group, the Hui Hawaii Aloha Aina Ona Wahine. On January 5th of 1895, the protests took the form of an armed attempt to derail the annexation, but the armed revolt was suppressed by forces of the Republic. The Hui Aloha Aina for women and the Hui Aloha Aina for men now organized a mass petition drive. They hoped that if the U.S. government realized that the majority of Native Hawaiian citizens opposed annexation, the move to annex Hawaii would be stopped. Between September 11th and October 2nd, the two groups collected petition signatures at public meetings held on each of the 5 islands of Hawaii. The petition clearly marked "Petition Against Annexation" and written in both the Hawaiian and English languages. It was signed by 21,000 Native Hawaiian people, or more than half the 39,000 Native Hawaiians and mixed-blood persons reported by the Hawaiian Commission census for the same year. The 4 delegates and Liliuokalani planned a strategy to present the petition to the Senate. The delegation and Liliuokalani met Senator George Hoare. In the following days, the delegates met with many senators, voicing their opinions to the annexation. By the time the delegates left Washington on February 27, 1898, there were still 46 senators willing to vote for annexation. The treaty was defeated in the Senate. Queen Liliuokalani was also the head leader of the Onipa'a movement. This movement was the kingdom's bitter fight against Americans to save Hawaii's sovereignty. During the movement, they staged rallies, organized petitions, and looked for ways to break the U.S. government. On January 16, in 1893, sailors and Marines aboard the USS Boston in Honolulu Harbor came ashore under orders of the U.S. The presence of these troops were a threat to Queen Liliuokalani and made it impossible for the monarchy to protect itself. She temporarily gave up her throne to the superior military forces of the United States. In 1895, a failed attempt by Hawaiian royalists to restore Queen Liliuokalani to power resulted in her arrest. Queen Liliuokalani was convicted of having knowledge of a royalist plot and was fined. She was sentenced to 5 years in prison and hard labor. She was imprisoned in an upstairs bedroom at Iolani Palace and was denied any visitors. She wrote approximately 165 songs that expressed a deep love of her land and people. She wrote these songs in hope to preserve the musical traditions of Hawaii so that its history and culture would never be lost. Liliuokalani stood up against the U.S. She fought for what was rightfully hers. Though she lost, she is still remembered as a symbol of what Hawaii was, and she is remembered as the queen who wouldn't back down without a peaceful fight. Liliuokalani spent the rest of her life petitioning to have the island's sovereignty restored. Today she remains as a symbol of Hawaiian culture and independence, and a reminder to honor, preserve heritage in spite of political changes. The life story of Hawaii's first and last queen is and was tragic. Aloha oi, farewell to thee, one fond embrace, before I now depart, until we meet again. Liliuokalani.
I've been staring at the edge of the water long as I can remember, never really knowing why. I wish I could be the perfect daughter